and welcome to today's show. Now, as I have done over the last few weeks, I've been going through setting up a brand new website from scratch. We've gone through setting up the home page, all the other pages, setting up SEO analytics. And today I wanted to go through setting up something a little bit different, which is WooCommerce, so that you can set up payments on your website. And if you're looking to create an e-commerce website, you can go through and use some of the things that I'm going to be doing today on your website as well. So that's what we're going to be going through in today's show. Hi, my name is Jason Kruger, and I help people wanting to build an online business by teaching them what is possible with the online marketing tech at their disposal. Now, today I'm going to go through setting up WooCommerce. Taking payments on your website has definitely become something that a lot of people are now doing, but how do you actually go about doing it? Now, there are different ways to do it. You can just use PayPal and just use their PayPal buttons, get the code from them, put that on your website and take payments that way. And there is nothing wrong in doing that. But when you start to look at customer journeys and you want to start doing other integrations, that might not be the best way of doing it. Now, again, there are other ways to do it. You can use Stripe with other plugins and all of that. There are other e-commerce solutions out there as well, but I've got my WordPress website and I want to go and install something on there where I can start taking payments from clients, be it for physical products or just digital products, workshops, things like that. I can do that all through WooCommerce. And that's what I'm going to be going through now. I'm going to show you how to just go about setting up WooCommerce. You can then just add products to it if you're selling physical products. So we'll go through all of that. But then also, if you're a service-based business like myself, where I offer services to my clients, I also now have online training, and I want to be able to take those payments without too much hassle. Well, I can do that through WooCommerce as well. And there are going to be some other plugins that I will install, which will allow me to create dedicated checkout pages for those products. It also allows me now to have order bumps on there as well. Now, there are other systems out there that are dedicated checkout solutions like Samcart, Thrivecart. They are kind of the two most popular ones. There are plenty others out there as well, but they can cost a lot of money. Samcart, I think, to have decent features on there is $99 per month. Now, yes, with WooCommerce, if you want to have additional features, you will have to pay for the plugins to enable those features, like subscriptions, etc. But you can get those plugins relatively cheaply, depending on where you get them from. You can get the one directly from WooCommerce that is more expensive, but there are other sellers out there that are creating other plugins for WooCommerce which you can use. And with a lot of them, it's a yearly fee, and they might cost anything between $50 to $150. Sometimes, like the WooCommerce one, I think is over $200, but that is a yearly fee, not a monthly fee. So overall, you will be saving money on that as well. So let's get into today's training, and I'm going to share my new website with you. So this is the website that we've been building over the last few weeks, and it's got most of the content on there. Now, blog posts is still something that I will be going through. Unfortunately, I was meant to do this last Friday, this live, but there are definitely a lot of colds going around and I just wasn't feeling well to be able to do it. So I'm covering that today, and as such, the blog posts and all that are a little bit behind, but I will get on top of that. So this is the website that we've been working on, and I'm now going to go into the back end, and this is the dashboard that I'm greeted with. And as I said, I am using SiteGround as my hosting provider. And when you install WordPress through them, they do install their own plugins on there, and one of them is just the look and feel of WordPress. If you don't like this, you can just go into plugins and deactivate it, and then you'll just get the normal standard WordPress dashboard. So this is the dashboard, and the first thing we're going to go to is go to WooCommerce. We'll just go to home for now, and this is just your kind of main area for WooCommerce. You can go through all these prompts, and you can go and do their wizard to set this up for you. So you can put in your store details, add products, set up the payments, tax if you are set up for that, and then you can also set up your marketing tools. So you can go and add them to MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, those types of systems as well. And then you can go through and personalize it. So you can go through their wizard, or you can go through settings. And now that's what I'm going to be going through today. So the one thing that you are going to want to do is to set up your store address, especially if you are a physical, if you've got a physical store that's doing online trading now as well. You want to put your address in there, because this will help to calculate shipping, etc., if you need all those types of things set up. So you'll go through and enter in your address, and then you can then also set the general options, which is selling locations. So who are you selling to? Are you only going to be selling to your own country? You're not going to sell it internationally? Then you can go in here and set that up so that if someone does come from one of those other countries and starts putting in their details, it won't allow them to do any purchasing. And the same with shipping locations. You can set up where you are going to ship to. So if someone does try and buy something outside of your shipping locations, they won't be able to buy anything. And then you can also set the default customer location, and you can set that in here as well. And you can always just leave it as the shop base address. And you can enable taxes, enable coupons, and then you're going to set up your currency options. Now, I am based in the UK, but I'm going to be selling my training from this site, and I'm going to be doing that all in dollars. So I'm going to leave that in dollars. And the reason that I have chosen dollars over the British pound is because, in my view, the US dollar is more of an international currency. People can work out the conversion rates and all that a lot easier, and they kind of know what the dollar is compared to their own currency. So I'm going to leave it as the US dollar. The other thing that you can then do is go into products. And this is where you're going to start setting up the different pages for it. So you're always going to have a shop page where it's just going to list all your products. So you can go in here and actually select what page that is going to be if you don't want it to be the default. And this is also going to be used for your product links as well. You can also then change all the different behaviors. Now, everything I'm going through here is if you are going to kind of set up a shop where you're going to be selling different products. Now, they don't have to all be physical products. They can be digital products as well. And you can, when you set up the product, choose what it's going to be. But you will need most of this set up if you are going to be selling physical products, because you do want to have a placeholder image. If you upload a product that doesn't have an image, you want to have some kind of default image there. Otherwise, it's not going to look great on your site. And if you are shipping, you are going to need the measurements as well, so that it can help you calculate the shipping for various products. So you can choose the units that you want in there as well, and set if you're going to enable people to be able to leave reviews on your products. And while you're doing that, you can also set up the product ratings. Now, the other thing under products is inventory. So if you are selling physical products, you do want to make sure that you enabling stock management, so you can then keep track of the stock on the site. So the site will then, if it is out of stock, it won't allow people to buy it. And again, it depends on how you set this up, because you could set it up on back order as well. And you can just set the threshold. So if you are going to be getting stock and you want to be able to know when you need to order new stock in, you can set those thresholds here. Downloadable products. When you're setting up a downloadable product, you can set up where those products are going to be downloaded from, and you can then kind of force the downloads as soon as they buy, or you redirect them to a certain page, etc. So you can set all of that up here. And then also access restrictions. So when they're buying, do they have to set up an account? Because will they need a login to download those products? Shipping. Now, when you are selling physical products, you will need to set this up. So you can set up your different shipping rates. Depending on what products you are shipping, you might also need to set up shipping classes. Now, shipping classes allows you to classify certain products. So, for instance, I have a client that's a reptile shop, and they sell frozen food for reptiles, etc. And for shipping, there might be specific shipping rules that says, okay, these ones will only allow frozen, others will allow a mix. And by setting up different shipping classes, I can then restrict those as well. And if I'm selling other things and I have a different class of small, large products, or even medium products, I can set those up in here so that it will help me calculate what shipping gets applied to that order. Now, with the normal WooCommerce shipping, you will set up your zone. So let's say I'm in the UK, and I can then set the regions that it's going to be applied to, and then I can do my shipping method. So the ones that WooCommerce have by default is just a flat rate, free shipping, or local pickup. Now, if you need something more complicated, depending on weight, etc., you will need to look at other plugins that allow you to do that. The next option is your payments. Now, this is, something that you definitely want on WooCommerce, so that you can take payments, and they do offer different gateways that you can use to take payments. They've now launched their own payment system called WooCommerce Payments, so you could go through that process. But the other two most popular ones is going to be Stripe and PayPal. So all you need to do is just click on Get Started, and it will download the right plugin for you, and then you can then just go in and set that up. So now that I've got that installed, I can enable that. I can also give it a title. This will show up on the checkout page, and then I can then set up my connection to Stripe. So when you go into your Stripe account, you can get your different keys. They also have this button where I can click on it, log into my account, and it will set this all up for me. So if you just want an easier way to do it, then just click on this button, sign into your Stripe account, and it will fill the details in for you. You can then go in and change some of these options as well. So do you want the dark theme or the light theme? So you can go in and customize that all over here. And then once you've got that all set up, all you want to do is make sure that you've enabled it. So then when someone does go through the checkout process, it will have the payment options. If there's no payment options and you haven't set any of these up, so you'll see they've now got more Stripe options here, so you can set those up. But if you've got none of these enabled, when they go through the checkout process, it will tell them that you can't check out. So that is something that you do want to make sure. And the whole point of installing WooCommerce is to make sure that we have a way of taking payment. Accounts and privacy. So this is mainly going to be when you are setting up subscriptions. People do need to have an account set up so they can manage their subscriptions. So you can set it up so they can go in and cancel it or pause their subscriptions. And you need to just make sure that you have this all set up. At the moment, there's no subscriptions on here, so I can just allow customers to place orders without an account. And that just makes it easier. People just pay, and they kind of pay as a guest on your system. You can then also set up your privacy policies and checkout policies, all of that in here, so that when people go on there, you can set it so that they have to agree to your terms and conditions or anything like that before they go through the payment process. The other thing that you want to maybe go in here and double check is the emails, because these are the emails that are going to be sent out to yourself and to the customer after they've made a purchase. So you'll need to go in here and you can manage it. So these are the ones that are going to go to me when there's a new order. But if someone has placed an order, they're going to get their receipt and all of that information in here. So you can go in here and have a look at it. So if once the order's been placed, they could get a processing order, because there are different stages that the order can go through. So as soon as someone has made a payment, it will go into processing, and if you have to then ship it or whatever, you can then go back into that order and click on completed, and they will get a completed email. So if I go into one of these, so let's go into the completed one. This is what it's going to be. So the subject is just your order is now complete. And you can put in some additional content in here as well. And you can also change what format it's going to be. Now, with any of these emails, if you want to do even more customization, you do have to go into the templates themselves to do that. And the email sender options, you definitely want to change this, because you want your website name here, the address for them that it's going to be received from, and you can go and change the email template color schemes and all that here, so you can make sure that the emails are on brand. Now, I have covered in another video on the YouTube channel, where if you are going to be sending out a lot of emails, you don't want to rely on the WordPress email system. You do want to set up a better email service to make sure that the emails are being sent out and received. So if that is something that you're going to need, then please have a look on the YouTube channel so that you can see how to set that up. And they even say here that they recommend connecting your email address to your domain and setting up a dedicated SMTP server. So do have a look at that video. I show you how to get that installed and set up. The next option is integrations. And if you haven't installed any other plugins, you won't have anything else. I do have a geolocation type system here, but you do need to go get a license key, and that will then just detect where people are in the world to help you restrict the shop, etc. If they're not in the location that you want to sell to. And then under advanced, what this is going to be is the page setup. So when you install WooCommerce, it will set up a checkout page, the accounts pages, a basket page as well, which is your cart page, So you need, if you have changed this, you need to go in here and just select the right page so that the whole system will work correctly, and also your terms and conditions. You need to just select which page it needs to direct them to. And with all e-commerce sites, you want to make sure that it is a secure checkout, that you do have an SSL certificate installed for the website. And you can also check this to make sure that it's forcing that secure connection. And these are just your endpoints for the different pages, etc. So just leave those as default, and the same with these. All of these over here, you don't need to worry about, especially if you're just starting out. So that's kind of setting up just the basics of WooCommerce. I have gone through it quite quickly, but those are just all the settings that you just need to go through and make sure that you understand what they do, and like your address, etc., that's all set up, because that will be used for shipping and for other restrictions if you are restricting different countries, etc. Now, the other thing that you can do is set up your first product. So if I click on all products, you'll see there's nothing there at the moment. So I can go and create my first product, and I can just give this a name. So I'm just going to call this a demo. I can then give it a description, and there's two areas for descriptions, and this especially if you are setting out a proper e-commerce store, you will need to know the difference of where these are going to show up. So if I scroll down, you'll see there's one here called short description, and this is your main description. So I'm just going to put this in here, main description. This is all the SEO information that you can also do for each product. And I do recommend you do that to make sure that your products are going to be found on Google. And down the bottom here is just a short description. And this middle bit here where it states the product data, this is the main part to set up your product. And they have different types of products. They have a simple product, group products, external affiliate products, or a variable product. Now, a simple product is I'm selling it for £10 or $10, whatever it is, and that's what it is. There's not much else to the product. So I can put in here that the regular price is 10, and because it's set to dollars, I can also, if in the future, if I'm going to have any sales, I could put the sale price in here and I can schedule it. So between certain dates and times, etc., I can say that there's a sale on the site, and it will take care of all of that for me automatically. Now, if this is just going to be a virtual or a downloadable product, I can click on that, and you'll see that some of the options down here disappear because I don't need shipping or anything like that. So I can click on virtual, downloadable as well. That now gives me other information because I can add the file in here. I can also set a download limit for people to download the product, and an expiry date as well. So I can set all of that up in here. Now, if I do have a physical product, I can go into inventory. I can give it a SKU number. I'm going to say that I am going to manage a stock, but if I've already done that on the main settings, I don't need to do that. And then I can just say the stock, is it in or out of stock. Now, if I do click on manage here, I can now start putting in the quantities. So that is if you are selling various different quantities of products, you do want to then make sure that you have this ticked so that you can go in here and set those quantities on there. And are you going to allow back orders as well? And then under shipping, this is where we're going to set the the weight and the dimensions of that product. And then if we have set up different shipping classes, I can add that in here as well. If I have multiple products and I want to have upsells and cross sells, I can link those products in here, which will then be displayed with that product. Attributes. Now this could be different sizes, colors, etc. I can go and add in those different attributes. And then if there's going to be any other advanced settings, like I'm going to enable a review on this. Now, if you have set this up on the main settings, it will be enabled as default. But on this product, if you didn't want any reviews, you can just switch it off here as well. Now, just scrolling up slightly further up, I can now set a product image. And if I have more images, so if I'm selling a t-shirt, for instance, and I want to show different colors or different angles, I can add in a product gallery here and add those different photos, which will then appear on the product. So once I've done all of that, I can also make sure that I set up the right categories. So if I am selling multiple products in different categories, I can set these up. So if I'm selling clothing and then t-shirts and shorts and all that type of thing, I can set that all up in here. And once I'm done, I can just click on publish. And once that's done, I can just go in here and view the product. And that's what it's going to look like. Now, at the moment, it's saying out of stock because I haven't set up any way of payment. So that's why it's saying out of stock, because I haven't actually done anything. Or it could actually be, yes, that I have clicked on manage stock and I've set that to 0. So I'm just going to untick that at the moment. I'm just going to say it's in stock. Click on update. And refresh. And there we go. It is there now. So I could add that to my basket. This would be where the main image is going to be. If I had other images, they would appear underneath here. And as you can see, this is the description. So that's the short description there. And that is the main description under here. And it will have it all in tabs. Now you can go and customize this. You will need to use different plugins. Or if you're using Beaver Builder, you can use that with the theme builder to build out these pages differently and have a different look. So there is different ways of customizing it. Unfortunately, out of the box, because WooCommerce is free, there will be limited ways for you to customize it. So if you do want to customize it more heavily, then I do recommend looking at the other plugins to do that. Now, if I go back to this product and I go to add to basket, I can now click on view basket and you can see it's giving me all of that information here. And I can go to proceed to checkout. So this is where I can ask for all the billing details, etc. And at the moment, because I haven't got a payment gateway set up, it's saying that there's no available payment methods on here. So you do need to make sure that that is set up. So that's just setting up WooCommerce very quickly, setting up the different products. And you can just go through that and start creating your products and looking at how you can customize it yourself. Now, if you've got any questions regarding any of that, please do leave a comment down below and I will make sure that I answer it. And if you want more training on WooCommerce and specifically how to make other changes to it, please leave those down below as well. And I will make sure that I get those videos created for you as well. And if you do like the content, then please do look to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you get notified when I next go live or when I next post a video. Now, the next thing I want to show you is creating dedicated checkout pages for your product or service. So if you're not going to set up a proper shop, as we've just done now, going through and creating different products and all of that, but you just want a kind of a checkout system where people can just go and buy a service from you or a workshop, etc., then you might not need to go through this whole setup to create a proper shop. You just want to, with most of it, you will still need to set up, but with the products, you won't have the product pages and then add to basket and have all of that. You could have a dedicated link where they can just click on it and it will go directly to a checkout page, which you have customized for that product or service. Now, to do that, you do need another plugin on there, and the one that I use is from WooBuilder, and I'll show you this WooFunnel, sorry, and you can have a look at their site. So the one that I use is from WooFunnels. They have different products available where you can create funnels. So if you are looking to create a proper sales funnel, you can do that with this plugin as well. So they've got the funnel builder. The one that I have at the moment is just the optimized checkout page. Because all I wanted to do at the moment is just do the checkout pages, and you can see we can make different modifications on here. So if that's all you want to do, then all you need to do is purchase the checkout product. But if you do want to have more and create the funnels, then you will need to go for the funnel builder. So you can see it's $99 per year or $129, and it depends on what you want to do. I have this one because I also wanted the order bumps as well. So to get started with that, all I need to do is install it, which I have, and I can go here and click on checkouts. And at the moment I don't have any, so I'm going to add a new one, and we're going to call this a demo checkout, and I'm going to click on add. And once I do that, I can go and choose all of these different designs for the checkout page. Now they do have different ones in here. So this is for the Elementor page builder, and they do have one for Divi, Oxygen, or other, or you can just go to the customizer and just do it with that. So if I click on other, it's just going to give me just a blank forms that I can use, and then I can put those directly into my own design. So the one that I want to do is just a checkout form. We can preview this, and you can see, let's just go continue. And we can go and choose it. So we can either choose this one, or we can just choose customizer. And customizer again just gives you ones that you can go in here and use, and you can still customize them, but more through the customizer. So let's go click on other. We're going to use this one, so I'm going to click on import. So we have that over here, and if I wanted to, this is now the form shortcode that I can do, and which I can use to put on a page, or I can embed it as well. So we can just use any of these shortcodes to put it on our own page. So we can go in there and create our own checkout page within our own page builder if you're not using one of the ones that are listed, and then just use the short form shortcode to embed it into that page. So we can just go in here now and click on products, and we can add a product to this. So we only have the one at the moment. I'm going to add that, and I can also have different restrictions on here so that I can restrict them to select only one of the products. So if I have multiple products on here, I can set it so they can only choose one of them, or I can have a multi-select. So if I have different products in here and I can and I want to allow them just to pick and choose which ones they want, I can click on this one, or I can list a whole lot of different products on here. So if I'm doing a bundle, for instance, I can choose this option, which will force them to buy that bundle. They can't change any quantities, etc. on there. So once I've done that, I can then just click on save to make sure that that has saved on this page, and go to fields. And this is going to be your normal kind of checkout fields. So I can have the email, billing address, shipping address, all of that on here. If I have a shipping method, if I am shipping a product, I can put that in here. This is not a product that I'm going to be shipping, so I can just click and remove that. The products, so I want to show them the product that they are purchasing, and I can go in here and just make a few modifications to it. And if I'm going to have coupons or discount codes or anything like that, I can have that on here as well. And then just their order summary, so they can see what they are actually purchasing. Now, if I wanted to have other fields on here that are not listed, and they're not listed in here, I can go in here and add a new field myself and customize that so that if I wanted to add more information to it, or I needed them to do a checkbox to say that they agree to something, I can add that all in here. And once I've done that, I just click on Save Changes, and the optimizations. Now they have different ones on here, so you can have the Google address autocomplete on there, apply coupons automatically on that checkout page. So if you have got a coupon code and you want to show them that they're getting a discount when they purchase that, then you can put that in here and it will apply it automatically for you. You can also disable the coupon field. Smart buttons, multi-step previews, preferred countries. You can also set this to expire. So if you are doing something and you only want 10 people to be able to purchase this one product, I could go in here and then change the quantity on here and then have a redirect. So I could set up a page saying, sorry, checkout is now closed, and redirect them after those 10 sales have been made. If I didn't want that, but I am doing an offer, for instance, and it expires on a certain date, I can go in here and do that as well. So it becomes very versatile when you are doing launches, etc., where you can actually close the cart after a number of orders or after a certain date and time. And you can also set it to pre-fill the form if they are an abandoned cart. So there's different things that you can do here to optimize it. And if I go to settings, this is just going to be if you want to have different analytics on here, custom scripts or any custom CSS. So if you're changing any look and feel of it. And once I've done all of that, I can just click on view. And here we go. This is now the page. Now, because this is being built with Beaver Builder, I can just click on Beaver Builder on this page. And I can actually go and customize this. So I could add different rows. So I could add another column in here, have titles on here, testimonials. I could even take this and move it to one of the other columns. So it's now has a different look and feel to it. And I'm going to click on done. I'm going to click on publish. The other thing that you can do, because this is one of the other default page layouts, I can go to edit checkout. And I can go in here and actually change what some of these things will do. So I can disable titles, the layout, etc. So I'm going to say that this is going to be full stretched. We'll see what that does. So if I click to preview, let's preview it to the new tab. And I think this is just coming up because of some of the code in here. So it has changed a little bit, but I can go in here and actually change more of it. So if I go back to the checkout, go to design, and I can switch to editor. I think that's just going to take me back to the page. And I can go in here and again, just make some more changes on here. So no sidebar. But I can go in here and make sure that I do have the layout that I want for this checkout page. And then all I need to do is, I'm just going to take this preview code away. So this is now my checkout page with my link, and this is all I need to link to. So I can create a button on my site that says buy now, and then just copy this URL to it, and then just get taken to this page for them to be able to make the purchase of that product. So no going choosing a product, adding it to the basket, and once the basket, you've got it in your basket, then go to the checkout. You're missing all of those steps out because you don't want any friction between them deciding to buy your product and them actually going and purchasing it. Now it is different if you do have a shop environment where you do have multiple products. You want them to be able to add them to the basket. But if you are just selling one-off courses and services, you don't want them or you don't need them to go through any kind of shop basket type scenario. You just want them to go directly to the payment page and make that payment. So if that is something that you want to do, then I do recommend looking at WooCommerce and the WooFunnels checkout plugin to be able to create these checkout pages for you. It's what I use for a lot of my clients to create different checkouts for different products. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of tutorial this morning. And again, if you do, then please look to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you get notified when I next go live. And if you have found this useful, please give the video a thumbs up as well. It really does help the channel. And again, if you do have any comments about anything or questions about anything that I have covered today, then please leave them down below and I will make sure that I answer them for you. So I hope to see you on the next one.